great day on the bayou, and it truly is a great day on the bayou, but I'm going to add something to that today. It is definitely a new day on the bayou, and today you're going to get a glimpse of something that many of us have had the opportunity to hear throughout the spring and throughout the summer, and that is actually our ninth president's vision for this university. And so you're in for a real treat, and then we're going to have some time to celebrate and wear our masks. Maybe go outside if that makes you more comfortable so that we can adhere to all the CDC guidelines. We do have some special guests here with us today, and I want to introduce them all to you. I just saw sneak in the back. Mayor Friday Ellis is with us today. Thanks, Friday, for being here with us. We have Hannah Livingston from Senator Kennedy's office. From Senator Kathy's office. Ramona Martin from Congresswoman Ledlow's office. And our friend Janet Durden from the United Way. We can always call her. And Liz Pierre from, she's a board member with the UL System Office, but she also serves as Secretary-Treasurer of our board. So thanks, Liz, for being here. I'm going to turn it over to our deans to introduce and announce our awards of excellence that are funded through our foundation. So at this time, Dean Pratt. Smart people, they follow directions well.
Good afternoon. I have to do that. So, as you well know, last year we were not able to do the awards the way we wanted to do them. And so this year we're making up for that by doing the 2020, much like the Olympics. We're going to do 2020 awards, and then we're going to do the 2021 awards. So, I'd like to start off by going over the 2020 awards. The ULM Foundation Award for Excellence in Research. Last year's awardee was Dr. Todd Murphy. Todd is an associate professor of atmospheric sciences in the School of Sciences. Todd joined ULM in 2012 as an instructor and was named an assistant professor in 2014. During his time at ULM, he has done a tremendous job of building a national reputation for quality research at an institution that is an undergraduate-only program. Besides managing the $3 million KULM Doppler radar, he's been awarded 11 grants totaling over $600,000 in funding from such agencies as the National Science Foundation and NOAA. Besides giving our students the opportunities to learn atmospheric sciences firsthand, his work has also saved lives here in North Louisiana, as the Doppler radar has detected several deadly tornadoes early enough to allow people to safely hunker down in just the last 2 years. Todd, congratulations. Just so you know, I was really smiling under that. I'm always accused of not smiling. The 2020 ULM Foundation Award for Excellence in Creative Artistic Activity goes to Dr. Scott Humes. Scott is a professor of music in the School of Visual and Performing Arts. He's a clarinetist by trade, and he's developed an international reputation for performance. He has given invited performances both in the United States and across the globe, including DC, New York City, Paris, Greece, and Belgium. And in fact, right before the pandemic hit, he was on a 2-week tour of Australia and New Zealand with the Sydney Conservatory of Music. Scott has been named an artist for both Henry Selmer Paris a famous French maker of clarinets and saxophones, and Silverstein Works, which manufactures reeds, mouthpieces, and other equipment. Back here at ULM, he performs regularly with the Monroe Symphony Orchestra, the Shreveport Symphony, the Rapide Symphony, and the Vashon Washington Opera Orchestra, as well as directing the Northeast Louisiana Clarinet Choir. Dr. Scott Hughes, congratulations. I'll now turn it over to my colleagues from pharmacy.
Good afternoon. My name is Gina Kraft. I'm Associate Dean of Assessment in the College of Pharmacy, and I'm filling in this afternoon for Dean Anderson, who was called away unexpectedly on a personal matter. So we have 3 recipients from the College of Pharmacy for the 2020 awards, and I'll start with the 2020 ULM Foundation Award for Excellence for Service by Unclassified Staff. At the University of Louisiana Monroe's College of Pharmacy campus on Beeville Drive, there is a classroom unlike any in the state. It is called an active classroom. It takes a lot of technology smarts to manage a smart classroom. Marcy Wells, our technology manager for the College of Pharmacy, proves every day that she is up to this challenge. Marcy is responsible not only for all technology, including the toxicology program on the main campus, but she also serves branch campuses in Shreveport and New Orleans. Faculty at our branch campuses are able to present their lectures using distance learning technology, avoiding costly travel between the different sites. Her reach extends beyond the College of Pharmacy. She also works on the web pages for marriage and family therapy and counseling and the College of Health Sciences. Marcy recently collaborated with the Office of Marketing and Communications to develop the current pharmacy and toxicology program web pages. So Marcy Wells is the 2020 recipient for service for unclassified staff. Next, we'll move to the 2020 ULM Foundation Award for Excellence in Teaching. Shannon Banks knows the best teachers are often the ones who remember what it was like to be a student. As an instructor in the School of Basic Pharmaceutical and Toxicological Sciences in the College of Pharmacy, he once sat in the seats his students now occupy when he was a ULM toxicology student. Shannon graduated from ULM in toxicology in 1998 and started a career with Eli Lilly and Company in 1999 as a study monitor and director through 2006. He returned to his alma mater as an instructor in 2007. In addition to teaching, he serves as academic advisor to about 75 ULM sophomores, juniors, and seniors. Shannon was the 2020 recipient of the Athletic Foundation Faculty Appreciation Award. And because of his rapport with students and innovations in the classroom, Shannon was awarded the 2020 ULM Foundation Award for Excellence in Teaching. Shannon must not be with us this afternoon. The last award from the College of Pharmacy is for the 2020 ULM Foundation Award for Excellence in Service. If there's a health fair in Northeast Louisiana, chances are good that Anthony Walker will be there too. In 2019-2020, Dr. Walker participated in 5 community health fairs, 2 days of CPR training, prostate cancer awareness 5K, and was a guest speaker at Carroll High School Medical Magnet Program. The Clinical Associate Professor and Pharmaceutical Care Laboratory Manager for the ULM College of Pharmacy School of Clinical Sciences, also provides basic life support instruction to pharmacy students. As a licensed and registered pharmacist, he extends his reach to provide medical education and health screenings to the community. Anthony earned his first BS in Medical Laboratory Science at ULM with a second BS in Pharmacy. He obtained his PharmD at Shenandoah University's Bernard J. Dunn School of Pharmacy. Anthony joined ULM in 1999 as a Certified Poison Information Specialist with the Louisiana Poison Control Center and assumed his current duties in 2005. He also served as a medical laboratory scientist with HCA North Monroe Hospital from 1988 to 1998. Because of the selfless giving of his skills and time, Anthony was named the 2020 winner of the ULM Foundation Award for Excellence in Service.
Okay, so much like the Olympics are now over, so is 2020 over. So now we're going to do the awards for 2021. So the 2021 Award for Excellence in Research this year is awarded to Dr. John Carr, Professor of Biology in the School of Sciences. Herpetologist, John has studied turtles throughout the southern U.S., Africa, Central, and South America. In 2020, he had a banner year, I would say. He completed 5 turtle surveys, which resulted in 19 research papers, including 20 different ULM graduate students as co-authors. This latter fact is very important, as John has done a tremendous job of marrying teaching and research, as all of his research has involved undergraduates and graduate students going out in the field and getting their hands dirty and learning science the right way. There is one additional fact, and it's somewhat sad, but not totally sad. For those of you who haven't heard, John will be retiring this December, but he's not going anywhere because he's got some grants and research that is continuing on. So he's going to be here for a while. So again, thank you. The next award is the 2021 ULM Foundation Award for Excellence in Teaching. The award winner this year is Dr. Imad Algiar, Associate Professor of Chemistry in the School of Sciences. When Imad joined the faculty at ULM in 2007, he brought with him a wealth of experience in teaching in Egypt, Sudan, Canada, and the U.S. This experience has been invaluable to him and to our students here at ULM, as it allowed him to respond to the ever-changing demands of higher education over the last decade. He is also well known by students for going beyond the classroom and going that extra mile and taking the time to explain difficult chemistry concepts at almost any time. In response to his teaching methods, the passage rate in general chemistry here at ULM has improved dramatically, which is a tremendous impact across campus for all of those students who take general chemistry. Again, this year's award winner, Dr. Imad Algiar. The last award that is my privilege to announce is the 2021 ULM Foundation Award for Excellence in Service by Classified Staff. This year's award winner is Ms. Norma Flanagan, Administrative Coordinator in the School of Humanities. Since 2003, Norma has worked in a variety of offices across campus, including admissions, graduate school, and education, before her current role in humanities. She is the glue that keeps this diverse office open and operating, providing key work in auditing degree sheets, updating major changes, supervising student workers, and keeping the equipment in the office stocked and operational. Mostly, though, she is known for doing whatever is needed to keep things running smoothly, whether that means going down the hall to unlock doors or chasing down repair crews to fix, the occasional leak that we have in our cooling system. So, this year's award winner, Ms. Norma Flanagan. Now I'd like to have Michelle come forward.
Here we go. So I'm the new kid on the block. I'm Dean, Michelle McCann, Dean of the College of Business and Social Sciences. It's my pleasure to announce the 2021 ULM Foundation Award for Excellence in Service. Service for Dr. Lee Nanny Percy began with beagles. The year was 2008, and Lee volunteered with Arizona Beagle Rescue. She fell in love with dogs, adopting one of the beagles, and she fell in love with helping the communities where she lived. As an assistant professor of political science and MPA coordinator in the School of Behavioral and Social Sciences in the College of Business and Social Sciences, Lee teaches by example. For her, volunteerism isn't an abstract classroom topic, it's a way of life. And she is the winner of the 2021 ULM Foundation Award for Excellence in Service. Lee participates in the Career Center Mentoring Program, Strategic Plan Focus Group, Athletic Director Search Committee, Academic Innovation Council, take a breath, Title IX Ad Hoc Task Force, SAC COC Steering Committee, and the Search Committee for the Director of Office of Sponsored Projects and Research. She also served as faculty representative for the United Way campaign 3 years running. Her service, however, goes beyond ULM to the community. In 2017, she served as a community investment volunteer for the United Way of Northeast Louisiana. She serves on the boards of both the Downtown Arts Alliance and the Children's Coalition of Northeast Louisiana. And she continues to work with dogs. She is a transport coordinator for the Senior Moments, Okay. Another canine rescue organization. That's social science. Lee studied journalism at the University of Georgia, earned her master's in athletic administration at Temple University, and her doctorate in public administration with a graduate certificate in nonprofit management and leadership at Arizona State University. She joined ULM's faculty in 2016. As a teacher of nonprofit management and community development, Lee has been instrumental in getting her students to volunteer in the community. My goal in life is to lead my community better than I found it, Lee says. That not only means the work I do myself, but it includes the impact I have on those I work with. Congratulations.
I'm Don Simpson, Dean of the College of Health Sciences, and it's my privilege today to announce the 2021 ULM Foundation Award for Creativity, Artistic Activity. The recipient is Jessica Laster. When we talk about learning and Ms. Laster's approach, we have to call it serious play. Is it Play-Doh and Twister that we're talking about? Is this a university or a kindergarten? Definitely a university, but who says learning can't be fun? That's Jessica's approach. She teaches a highly complicated course of study, one where lives hang in the balance. With complex scientific concepts and vocabulary, students can get lost or, worse than that, bored. She's the 2021 winner of the ULM Foundation Award for Creativity and Innovation Works. She's Associate Professor and Program Director of Medical Laboratory Sciences in the School of Allied Health, College of Health Sciences. And from personal experience, she loves what she does. She stated, "I'm constantly trying to find innovative and creative ways to connect dots and keep the students' attention." She connects learning through play. Consider, for example, her parasitology twister. The images are not colored dots, but pictures of cysts, trophozoites, and amoebas. The spinning wheels have disease names and clinical manifestations. As part of the study of renal physiology, Jessica has the students mold the anatomy of the kidney with Play-Doh, then they use the model to explain renal function. Imagine planning social events for a bi-state MLS conference. She was tasked with that as chair of the meeting. She worked with the ULM School of Visual and Performing Arts to create an MLS Murder is Served event. These are just a few of the innovations employed by Ms. Lassiter, who earned her bachelor's and master's degree at Louisiana Tech. She was also an employee at Rapides Regional Medical Center and St. Francis Medical Center before joining ULM in 2010. Does her approach work? Here's what two students said. "Even with the challenges presented during COVID lockdown, Ms. Lassiter curated unique teaching methods and enabled us as a student, or as students, to reach our full potential," stated Justin Hernandez. Annalise Johnson said, "Mrs. Lassiter pushes you to work harder, encourages you to believe in yourself, and inspires you to reach your full potential. I hope one day I can be half as good of a medical laboratory scientist that she is." Does Jessica's approach work? Certainly does. Congratulations.
It is indeed my honor to introduce the 2021 ULM Foundation Award for Service by Unclassified Staff. Even after this warhawk took wing, she never flew far from the nest. She has, however, been soaring to greater heights ever since. That includes the 2021 ULM Foundation Award for Service by Unclassified Staff to Christy Davis. Christy started at ULM in 2003, earning a Bachelor of Science, then an MBA. Just as Christy was about to start her professional career, her mother was involved in a serious car accident that left her permanently disabled. Christy put her career on hold to care for her mother. As she improved, Christy sought job opportunities. Since 2009, Christy has served in several business and budgetary roles. She is now Assistant to the Vice President for Business Affairs, Dr. Bill Graves. In 2020, she was named as Executive Director of the University of Louisiana Monroe Facilities, Inc. This is a quote from Dr. Graves. "One of Christy's most outstanding attributes is her ability to get along with the wide range of personalities across campus in a pleasant and professional manner. Her knowledge of the university has been a great resource for me and many others within the university community. Her presence on campus during the entire pandemic has truly kept things moving and is appreciated more than words can express. At ULM, she has chaired the SAC-COC Financial and Physical Resources Committee. She has served on the Warhawk Village Project Operations Committee, the Women's Symposium Board, the Strategic Planning Steering Committee, and the Staff Senate and United Way campaigns. Off campus, Christy volunteers at North Monroe Baptist Church and a homeless shelter. She serves on the Sterlington Elementary PTO. Christy and her mother partner with the Louisiana State Police and Mothers Against Drunk Driving on the dangers of drinking and driving. Christy views the hours of service as a privilege. I'm not sure she felt that last week. The university has provided opportunities in my life that I never dreamed would be possible, and I consider it personally rewarding to have the opportunity to make a difference in the lives of those I work with on a daily basis. Please join with me in congratulating Christy Davis. T-shirt, since this is our 90th anniversary. And on Thursday, we will announce the location, probably the underhang of the library, and we'll be out there for an extended period of time for people to come and collect their T-shirt if you're not here today. So that was the important business. There we go. Now, would you call? There we go. Now we're live. Whew. I thought he was going to have to use his teaching voice. Drink lots of water. So I know that he does not need an introduction, and he would be mad at me if I did, because I've done that several times on the road this year. And so I'm not going to do that because I know his words of inspiration are what we all need after last year and what we're entering this year. So please join with me in welcoming our 9th president for this 90th year, President Ron Berry.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Lisa. Before I begin my comments, we need to thank our ULM Foundation for making these outstanding awards possible. I don't know if we mentioned it, but each awardee, each winner, each recipient received a $3,000 check from the foundation along with that plaque. So if you would join me in thanking our ULM Foundation. Thank you. They do amazing work for us. Now, this is going to be different. You know, when Lisa and I were talking about this, she said, okay, we're going to put you last, and I want you to realize that, okay, so you have to do a lot of things, we have to do a lot of things, and you are in between everyone at home getting to enjoy their time with their family, and everyone in the room getting to go out on the balcony, and I see beer and wine out there and soft drinks. And so I'm in a tough situation here. And I also don't have a script. But I do have PowerPoint, which is very unusual for me because I can't do PowerPoint. And as a teacher, it always confines me, but it was recommended that I have something. Okay? So the something is PowerPoint. Right, Chrissy? Okay, all right. So first, this year, welcome. We're glad you're here. We're glad you're safe. It's nice to see you in your bubbles. And really glad you chose to come here and to join us live through live stream. We were very fortunate through a very difficult year last year to hire over 100 new family members to join us. And so I'd like to take just a minute, if all of our new faculty members that are joining us, if you are a new faculty member, would you stand and let us recognize you? Faculty members, please stand. Would our new staff members please stand? New staff members. Stay standing. Okay. Now all of our new faculty members stand again. And I want everyone to look around the room and look at these bright, intelligent, excited, enthusiastic new family members. It is so exciting to have you here. We're so happy you're here. Thank you. So, I said this was going to be a little different, and it is, because normally at the University Address, we talk a lot about what? We talk about what we've done in the past and what we're going to do in the future. And certainly, as a family, we have done an awful lot during some very challenging times. If you stop and think about what you've done in the classroom, what you've done to serve our students, what you've done to serve each other, it's quite remarkable. If you think about what you've done in the classroom to make our students learn in some very challenging times, if you think about having to go to remote instruction over a weekend, it's pretty amazing. Not only for the faculty, but everybody else who had to support that and make sure that it worked. Yes, we did some other things, like not only hire the first female vice president in our history, but hire 2 female vice presidents in our history. We not only did that, we hired our first executive director for diversity, equity, and inclusion. We've done a lot of neat things together. We just were able to add $650,000 from our existing budget to award raises that are nowhere near what they should be. But considering we only got probably 0.5% from the state, for Dr. Graves and the team of leaders across the colleges and the vice president's level to identify that additional money, to begin to recognize you for your efforts, is truly quite remarkable. We've done a lot when it comes to what. And usually we talk about enrollment trends. I've heard our enrollment's in pretty good shape. Louisiana, just like other states, are challenged. There are demographics working against us. There's a virus working against us. We hope that we're going to be even. We're going to be excited with that. We're going to be overjoyed with that. Because we know we can continue to do the great work that we do with the students that show up. We usually talk about budgets. Our budget is in great shape. In fact, this is the best budget we've had in 13 years. Which is pretty amazing. That is possible because of the work of our governors and our legislators who are here. We certainly want to thank them for supporting higher ed and providing funds for raises. We couldn't do what we do without them, so we certainly want to thank them. We also talk about
fundraising. Our foundation is doing an amazing job. They're on a journey to raise $100 million by 2031. So in 10 years, they're going to have raised. I have no idea, no doubt, we're going to beat that. No doubt they're going to reach that $100 million mark before 2031, which is our 100th anniversary. So usually we talk about those whats. And the bigger question is really not what, it's why. And I kind of jumped the gun there, but we are in a strategic planning process. And we know we did a lot of work last year, we're going to finish that. And the reason that's important is because strategic planning is all about why. Why do we do what we do? Why do we get up in the morning and come to ULM? Why do we stay late and work with our students? Why do we pick up the phone and call and ask someone, hey, I've got this student, can you help them? Why do we engage in the community? Why do we provide the beacon of hope for this region? Why do we want to change lives? Why? The why is much more important than the what. And because we are doing a strategic planning process, it's time for us to really think about that why. As a community, as a university, what is our collective why? And I was introduced to a video last week. It just so happened I was at a retreat with all the other presidents, and this video was shown, and I said, this is perfect. I have to include this video in the university address. So this is a video from a comedian, and he's funny, but this is pretty impressive. Okay, so this is his example of why is important. So Chrissy, let's join me in watching this video. Uh-oh. Why did that happen? Here we go.
So you're a musical director? Yes, sir. All right. So let me get a couple bars of like Amazing Grace. You do the first part of that. Go ahead. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. Wow. That bro could sing. You know what I'm saying? All right. Now, once you give me the version, is if your uncle just got out of jail, you got shot in the back when you was a kid. I'm just saying, let me see the hood version real quick, if you know the version I'm talking about. Just see if that exists. Let me see what you got. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. How sweet. So here's the thing. The first time I asked him to sing, he knew what he was doing. The second time I asked him to sing, he knew why he was doing it. When you know your why, your what has more impact because you're walking in or towards your purpose.
So why is pretty important. Wouldn't you agree? Yeah. As human beings, it's natural for all of us to want to be part of something bigger than ourselves. We want to be part of something that's good, part of something that's growing, part of something that's impactful. Would you agree with that? Do you want to get chill bumps when something good happens about something you care about? Do you ever do that? Do you really feel good when something good happens to something that you really care about? Wouldn't it be great if our university had a shared why? Wouldn't it be great if all of us could transition from being technically very good at what we do in our jobs every single day? And I have no doubt that everyone in this room is technically exceptional. We know what to do. But what if we could get everybody behind a why? And we could take that initial song and transform it into something like that second song. Wouldn't that be amazing? Wouldn't that be phenomenal? Wouldn't that be life-changing? Wouldn't that be community-changing? Wouldn't that be just simply unbelievable? So the obvious question is, what is our why? What is our why? And for years, our university has asked that question. You know, we've moved from being a regional university. Our last mission statement said something like we're going to be known for being in the top 200 regional, national universities with a primary focus on healthcare. Just honestly, does that make you want to sing a different song? Or is there something else hidden? Is there something else that can pull us all together? And we could come together and plan together to sing a different song. And so, if you think about where we live, if you think about the demographics of our region, if you think about the economic struggles in our region, if you think about the 5th Congressional District, and you think just east of here, how many people live in poverty? How many people have no hope of a better tomorrow? If you think about kids growing up in West Monroe who grow up in isolation, they're in isolation. In a recent conversation, one of them said, I didn't know Monroe had a mall. Now this is in West Monroe. Think about all the outlying regions. It is time for ULM to own who we are, where we are, and what we must do. It is critically time. It is past time that we did what we needed to do to raise our region up, to help people move out of poverty into a better life. It's time we ended isolation. It's time that we owned who we are, where we are, and what we must do. And we know we can't do it alone. So it's time that we partner with great partners like the City of Monroe, the City of West Monroe, United Way. Great partners in our region who can get behind that song, who sing that same song. Because the people we serve deserve nothing less than for us to be the best in the world at what we do. Ms. Miller started this by saying we're the best on the bayou. And as we've gone around to visit with people in New Orleans, in Shreveport, Baton Rouge, and Dallas, I've started my speeches by saying the best of the bayou is done. We're past that. We're probably one of the only ones on the bayou. So obviously I hope we're the best on the bayou. Can't we do more than that? Can't we be the best in the world? Because the people we serve deserves no less than for us to be the best in the world at what we do. Because you know what? The people we serve are just as bright, just as capable, can be more successful than any student in the world. There is no doubt about that. I've been here too long and seen too much to know that that statement is not 100% accurate, and I think you know that as well. Because you've lived it, Some of you are examples, and you've seen it in your classrooms and when you serve students. Our students are just as bright, just as capable, will be more successful than any students in the world. If we really are the best in the world at what we do. So what does that mean? Well, there's a PowerPoint there. What does that mean? Think about our students that we serve. I was one of them. I, grew up in a shotgun house in the middle of a cotton field. I've told the story that when it rained, we didn't eat because all the pots were spread out over the house catching the rain. I've also told the story to students where my mom called me one day. I was working in a chemical plant. I would get in the dirt and move the plows around. I'd fill up tanks with fertilizer. She called me one day really upset. She said, "You got to come home right now." And I said, "What's wrong?" She said, "Well, there's a snake in the house," which is no surprise because there were holes in the floor as well. So I go home, and my mom, she raised me and my brother by herself. And so I said, "What do you want me to do?" And she reaches in her purse and she pulls out a pistol. I'm like, wow. Pistol packing mom. And I had no idea she had a pistol. And she said, "Shoot the thing." So what do? I start shooting at the thing. Did I hit the thing? No. All I did was put more holes in the floor. We didn't sleep there that night. Okay? Unfortunately, and sadly, that still exists in our community. Those kids need us to be the best in the world at what we do. They need us to give them hope. They need us to help them give a pathway so that they can move beyond that, not only for themselves, but their families. When I was able to move out of it because of ULM, because of faculty and staff at ULM, it not only took me out of it, it took my family out of it. It provided a different pathway for our entire family. We have to do that. There is no question. We have to be the best in the world at what we do. Several years ago, we had students, very bright students, who would not seek out opportunities outside of our region. So in the College of Business, we had some alumni that were very supportive, and they said, "We'll take care of that problem." The problem was the students couldn't afford to live outside of our region for an internship or anything else. So our alumni raised $75,000 in a matter of weeks and said, "Let's give these kids an opportunity. Let's show them the world." So we found a student who grew up in Sicily Island. My guess is her background was very similar to mine. Never been on an airplane, never been out of the deep south, never been away from home that much. And we found her a job in London. We bought her a plane ticket, rented her an apartment. We took her to dinner the night before. Everybody cried. She was not sure she was getting on the plane the next day. She did. She had an unbelievable experience. They sent her all over Europe because she was just as bright, just as capable, and more successful than any other student in the world. In a matter of years after she graduated, she was running their U.S. subsidiary. We have alums all across the world who have proven time and time again that our students are just as bright, just as capable, and can be more successful than any students in the world because of people like you sitting in this room right now. What you do is extremely valuable. What you do is extremely important. And I hope you know that. I hope you know that every day you have an opportunity to change a life. Every day you have an opportunity to redirect someone down the right path for them. We have to meet our students where they are. We have to get to know our students, learn what their strengths and weaknesses are, so that we can help guide them along the path that's going to be best for them. Because we know, knowing ourselves, knowing our strengths and weaknesses, knowing who we are as individuals and our values, helps us be successful when we're in the right path. There's some crazy statistic like 80% of our students change their major. We can do better than that. We can get them earlier, and I'm proud to announce we're about to do something about that. We've bought a program called My Major that before students get here, we'll start working with them to identify those strengths and weaknesses and help them better plan for a couple of majors so they won't be bouncing around all over the place. We have to do better because they deserve it. We must do better because they deserve it. And when we do this, guess what happens to our community? We all start getting better. Just like I was able to provide for my family, they're going to be able to provide for their families. When they provide for their families, then everyone rises. Our community gets better. I don't like to be known as serving one of the poorest regions in the country. We have to change that. We can do better than that. It all starts with why. Why we do what we do. That question is often overlooked because even as human beings, we focus on the what. What am I going to do tonight? What am I going to do tomorrow? What do I have to do next week? The why is more important. So as a university, our new chief strategy officer is going to help us answer that question. He's going to have a visioning session or visioning sessions, and we're going to talk with each other and figure out what our why is. Now, please don't think that that's all we are, because you know just as well as I do the amazing work you already do. We're not going to stop being outstanding researchers. We're not going to stop being outstanding teachers or providers of service. What we do in our community is truly amazing. What you do in the labs and research is literally life-saving, life-changing. The way you push the boundaries of innovation is just remarkable. We have to keep doing all that. But we can do all that and meet the needs of our students at the same time. Because everything we do can be framed around our answer to why. Does that make sense? So how do we get there? How do we get there? We're going to get there. You know, one of the questions that I'm asked probably most often is, what is it like being the president? And I said, well, it's scary. It is very scary. It's very humbling. It's challenging. It's rewarding. And there are a lot of perks. Never thought about the perks. But I go into a restaurant, and of course everybody knows I'm there because one of the perks is I get the #1 license plate, which is a curse as well, because when I cut people off, they know exactly who I am. When I don't stop at the red light, they know exactly who I am. I haven't done that, Mayor. I'm just saying if I were to do that. You know, very visible. If my wife and I are eating in the corner, the owner of the restaurant comes over and says, I am so sorry they put you in the corner. We want you right in the middle. Why are you not in the middle? It's like, oh, we chose to sit in the corner. And then all of a sudden, there's more food on the plate. You can tell. So it's sometimes hard to stay grounded as president. Just yesterday, I was in a store and a former student came up to me and said, I haven't seen you since you became president. Congratulations. What do I call you now? Your Honor, Your Excellency? I said, so you graduated, right? And he said, yes, sir, I did. And I'm gainfully employed. I'm doing great. And I said, you call me Ron. And he said, I can't do that. And I said, sure you can. It's easy. I'm Ron. And he said, okay, Dr. Berry, whatever. And so, fortunately for me, I have an unbelievable wife, best friend, who keeps me grounded. I have an unbelievable daughter, an unbelievable son that makes sure that I have a good understanding of why this is important. And for those of you who are married, like me, if you know that if you ever get ungrounded, as my mom would say, you're too big for your britches. You probably never had that, right? You can always rely on your in-laws. She reminded me of this recently because her dad just turned 80, so she and my daughter flew up to Indiana, and her Uncle Mike picked her up at the airport. And Uncle Mike said, when you get home, you need to tell President Barry that he needs to think about the first time he and I met. And so Christine came home and said, Uncle Mike said, tell President Barry to remember the first time you met him. And I thought for a second, and I said, oh, yeah, I get it. So my wife's dad's name is Ron. Her grandfather's name is Ron. So I meet Uncle Mike, and Christine says, Uncle Mike, here's my husband, Ron. He looks at me in all sincerity and says, great, moron. And so being president is truly amazing. Serving you and having the opportunity to serve you is really, it's almost indescribable. But if I ever get out of line, just say, hey, moron. Remember who you are. Remember why. All of us need to think about the why. It is so very important. The what will come because I know that all of you are truly amazing people. I know the technical is going to be taken care of. You know, before coming over here, I met with the transfer students, first, I guess it's second year pharmacy students, transfer students, and to be honest, I had no idea why I was there. So on my calendar it said, library, stairwell, transfer pharmacy students. So I go down, and I'm standing there, and they're all looking at me, and I said, anybody know what's going on? And they said, yeah, you're supposed to welcome us. They're the reason why. So these students is a big group of students, great-looking students, who came here to have their lives changed, to have their lives changed by you. They want a different life. They deserve a different life. And personally, I know all of you are going to help me take care of our students. You're going to be the people that own who we are, where we are, and you're going to do what we must do because the why is so important. But I hope you know that my job is to take care of you. My job is to make sure that this place is the best place that it can possibly be for you to work. My job is to make sure that I own ULM, I own where we are, and what I must do to create an environment that recognizes you and rewards you. And I'm happy to report we're making some progress. We've had a committee that got together and identified ways to recognize you. So after a certain number of years of service, guess what you might get? Your own private parking spot. Yay! You're not excited about that, I can tell you. How about your own brick in the courtyard? How about a declining balance from Airmark so we can buy you lunch? How about a faculty and staff club where you can go and have a glass of wine or a bottle of beer or a soda after work? After work. How about a new tuition policy for employees where you can be supported all the way through your PhD? Wow. So I want you to know that our family is not just students. You are a critical part of the family. In reality, you're the most important part. Because without you, we can't do the why. Without you, we can't change lives. And I want you to know that not only do we want to change student lives, we want to change your lives. We want to make sure that this is the best place possible to live, to learn, and to work. And we're going to work extremely hard every day to do that for you. So if you have ideas, please share them. We took part in that Chronicle survey, best places to work. And I asked all of you to take that seriously, and you did. I appreciate that. We've got some things to work on, and we're going to work on them. And we're going to get where we need to be to make sure that you really love coming to work, that you really enjoy being around your colleagues, and you feel fulfilled, that you enjoy being part of the why. And each of us will have our own why individually, but I think it's going to be amazing when we all determine collectively what ULM's why is. Is that grammatically correct? No English professors in the room? Oh, it is. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. So, I told you it's going to be a little different. And I'm standing between you and mine. But I would love to answer any questions that you might have. Anything at all. I'm used to the Barry Bowden Roadshow. And usually when they ask questions, I can't answer them. So I'm very good at saying, sorry, I have no idea anything about quarterbacks, who's going to be the quarterback, who's going to be the tailback, or any of that stuff. But please, let me know if you have questions. I'll be happy to answer them for you. Anything? Wow. Nothing? Yes, sir.
Is there a female option?
If there's not, we'll get one. Thank you. I appreciate that. If there's not, we'll get one. How about that? Anything at all? Anything you want to know? Now's your time. You know, it's hard to imagine that I've been president almost a year. It really is hard to imagine that. It seems like it's been 2 months. Time is flying by. My hair is turning loose and grayer much faster. It's just flying. And so we want to make sure that we do the why correctly. Questions? Nobody's going to ask why you didn't get a 5% raise? Or no? You're really thirsty. Well, thank you for what you do. Thank you for being here. I intentionally didn't talk about COVID. You're probably tired of getting emails about COVID. We are all experts with COVID right now. I mean, I appreciate you being here, wearing masks. I know the deans are going to do a remarkable job making sure the classrooms are safe, and I appreciate what you're doing. But if you feel uncomfortable or have questions, speak up. Okay? We are in the middle of a cultural change on campus. And we're learning together, we're changing together, and hopefully it's all going to be great. No questions? I did that to stall in case you had a question. No? Okay, so where do we go from here? We answer our why. And Seth Paul, our Chief Strategy Officer, is going to be known as our why officer. And so we're going to change the conversation a little bit, figure out our why. And the why is our community desperately needs it to be about them. It's time. If not now, when? If not us, who? We have to do it. So I'm going to give you a preview, because I still see them setting up. We asked our friends at United Way to come up with 3 ideas for service projects. And Lisa tells me I have to have an investiture as president. So they're planning an investiture. And I said, okay, we'll do that as long as a university, we do a community service project as a university family. We want to do something that's impactful, something that moves the needle, something that changes lives. And so Janet never disappoints. United Way never disappoints. They came through with 3 projects, all 3 unbelievable, all 3 community-changing, life-changing. But we picked one that will impact 3rd grade readers. And before this last surge, we were going to invite all 3rd graders in our region to campus during Investiture Week. And we have written our own book. So we have a book about ULM and the opportunities that ULM provides to 3rd graders. And it's really a tour of our campus, and it talks about all the amazing things that exist on our campus. And we were thinking about that young lady in West Monroe who's isolated that didn't know we had a mall. But she doesn't know we have a mall. She probably doesn't know we have a great university. In fact, she doesn't know that we have the best university in the world at what we do right here in Monroe, Louisiana. So we've written this book. The amazing surgeon is illustrating that book. It's probably going to win some kind of national award. It is truly phenomenal. Each one of those 3rd graders is going to get a copy of that book. At the end of that book, it's going to say, ULM Warhawk Class of 2031. Because they will be the freshman class on our 100th birthday. The idea was for those students to go around campus and have one of us read part of the story to them. And of course, there will be cake and ice cream because it's our 90th birthday right now. And if we can work it out, each of those books will turn into a scholarship if they can hold on to that book for 10 years. How life-changing can that be? To give a 3rd grader hope. To give a 3rd grader an idea of what their future could look like. To have them introduced to you. For you to show them what success looks like. Is just mind-blowing. The impact that we can have. And we know this is not going to happen overnight. We know that we can't do it by ourselves, and that's why we're reaching out to create new partnerships. But how amazing is that? Where 3rd graders have a book that in the back of it says, Warhawk Class of 2031. And not only that, but they now know what we do. They now know the pathways that they could go down. There's a saying that, and Liz knows this well, because our chairman of the board uses it, people will be what they see. We've got to show these kids more than they see. We've got to show them that there is a world of opportunity for them right here at ULM. The sooner we do that, the more often we do that, the better it's going to be for all of us. So that's a what. But you better believe it's part of our why. So I'm going to stop there. I'll be here if you have questions. Thank you again for coming. I feel like this has just been a letdown. Gosh.
Dr. Barry,
Yes.
what is Investiture Week?
Investiture Week, that's a good question. I think it's the last week of September.
September 27th.
September 27th.
Our birthday is September 28th.
Our birthday is September 28th. Ms. Miller's got all the answers over here. So another question I get asked on the road a lot is, why the Barry Bowden Road Show? And, I was talking about perks earlier. Who wouldn't want their name on a logo with Bowden? I mean, first family in football. Now I'm famous like he is. So I'm tagging along. I'm riding on his coattails. No, the real reason about Barry Bowden Road Show was to create excitement and enthusiasm among our family. So we started out in Dallas, then we went to Shreveport and Baton Rouge and New Orleans. And the whole thing was about energy, it was about enthusiasm, it was about talking about the unbelievable success stories of our university, the unbelievable success stories of our alums. You start thinking about our alums and where they are and what they're doing. It's just amazing. I mean, absolutely amazing. We had an alum that recently sold his business for $500 million. That's what he put in his pocket. Well, not necessarily in his pocket, but in his bank. And he cares about what we're doing, so he decided, you know what? Let's start a business planning competition. Let's engage your students and give them an opportunity to win $25,000 for their creativity. And oh, by the way, I'm going to do that for 5 years. And it's successful, yes, we'll do it more and more and more. We've got people who want to support you, who want to support the work you do every day. They value what you do and they appreciate what you do. And we're going to keep working that to make sure that we have the resources needed to support you. Okay, do they get to drink now, Ms. Miller?
They get to drink. They get to
All right. All right. So, thank you very much. Please, I am a nice guy. Open door policy, open email. If you have ideas, if you have concerns, if you have questions, please let me know. Looking forward, this is not the year that I thought we'd be having, but I know we're going to have an unbelievably, amazingly successful year. So thank you for what you do. Thank you for what you're about to do. I would say talons out, but I'm not sure I know how to do it exactly. How about let's just have a great day, have a great week. Thank you.